You wanted me to do the opener? And welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
I'm Zach.
And I don't know what's going on. And I'm PJ. And this is your weekly whiskey, wine, and all things barrel aged podcast.
Hey, James, you look like you're in a different place than we are.
I am signing in from snowy Boston. It's snowing right now.
How is it snowy now? Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, so enjoying the nice cold weather out here for work, and was able to procure some of tonight's offering that I will be enjoying with us all tonight. So,
you found you some hard to get Bulliet, eh?
Yes, at the convenience store at Assembly.
Wow, even in Boston.
Some not so hard to get Bullet, as we're going to find out tonight. We had some interesting metrics that we want to disclose tonight before we start digging into what we found is one of the most drank, one of the most sought after, especially for Boston, whiskey beverages. Oh no, I forgot to put the chat up. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
Just a moment.
Click that chat button. It's right
Yeah.
there. Right
Click
there.
on the chat. I don't see anything from the chat. Or is there no chat?
Extra camera, RDP.
Are we even live? I don't think we're live.
We are live. Thank you.
I don't see any chat. I don't even see anything.
Yeah, live, and I see two
chat. We got people watching.
2 eyes.
But
there it goes. Now we're getting some action.
I don't want private chat. I need to turn on. How did I turn on the chat last time?
The chat's on.
There it is. Got it. See it. Hey, there we go, Uncle Punky. Good evening, guys. We had our first snow today. I saw pictures. Hello. And Mrs. Askin says, chatty chat.
Hello.
Get into my belly. There it is. There's the chat. Fantastic. It's like it's my first time doing this. Really, it's my second. Well, yeah, so we got James in sunny Boston, and then we've, of course, got Zach and I live from Barrel Buddies Undercover over at my place.
Undisclosed location.
And tonight we're going to be drinking, you might recognize this bottle. Hey, James, how big is your bottle? We've got a gallon.
I tossed it. It was with the little guy. I had a little airport bottle.
This is the Costco size.
We got a gallon.
I just poured it out. I just got it in the pour there.
Would you do the honors, Zachy?
And I can. I think I have to use 2 hands for this one.
Yeah, you might have to.
Yeah.
So this is Bullet Bourbon. This is an interesting bourbon. Interesting because, James, you and I were talking about this a little pre-show, that this was the first bourbon that I remember getting into where I was like, hey, I think I like bourbon. Not just whiskey, but I think I'm into bourbon.
I'm totally with you. And I think that I think this is very easily approachable. Like, I don't drink a lot of Bullet, right? I think it's very, very, from what I think we're going to jump into it, because I haven't had it in a very long time. Very approachable, very entry level, not offensive with the alcoholic punch. It's probably going to be something very smooth. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but I think it's going to be enjoyable by various palates. So that's what I think we're walking into.
It's a good all around bourbon.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, it's solid. It doesn't taste cheap. It doesn't taste expensive. It's just middle of the road. It's good to drink neat on the rocks in mixed drink.
Yeah.
When I first started drinking this stuff, we used to call it Bullet in my circle of friends. We didn't know it was called
Bullet. Oh, wow.
Bullet bourbon. Yes, I remember when people were calling it Bullet bourbon. To make it even fancier, it was not Bullet, it's Bullet bourbon. Yeah, no, I recall, because it was French. It was fancy. So this is interesting. Frontier whiskey. I think I was calling it Pioneer whiskey earlier this week.
Pioneer, yeah.
But it's Frontier whiskey, not Pioneer. Distilled and aged in the Bullet family tradition. And this is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It comes in like Emeryville, Kentucky. No, Shelbyville.
Shelbyville, and then there's another one too. I can't remember. There's 2 distilleries
in Shelby County, Kentucky. And so 45% by volume. So this is 90 proof. and it's coming in from the High Rye Mash Bill and Kentucky Limestone Filtered Water. And so when they talk about High Rye Mash Bill, Zach, you seem to have all the knowledge on this. Do you remember what the percentage of rye is in this?
I don't know. It's a lot though.
It is a lot,
and they actually have a Bullet rye as well, which has even more.
Bullet's 28% rye.
28%, and so they've always called it they do a 2/3 corn, and then they do a 1/3 rye, and so they've messed with that a little bit.
And then it's like 4% barley.
Yeah, so they've messed with that a little bit in the recent years. 28% rye now, and then we've got the 4% barley, the rest corn. And I think that you're talking about a approachable whiskey, which I don't disagree. I think that Bullet is very approachable, but it's got a very high rye content. So do you find that to be shocking or surprising, either one of you?
No, and I think you're getting a little bit more complexity there. I mean, I'd say you probably get a little bit more, a little bit just different elements, right? I don't want to give away anything because we haven't tasted it yet. But I just think you're getting more complexity, more depth when you throw in that rye amount.
I think I actually have. No, I don't have a Bullet rye. I usually buy this over at Costco. Sometimes they have like a special where they have like buy a gallon for $25 if you buy 3 of them. Yeah. And there's always the Bullet and then the Bullet rye right next to it. The rye is actually pretty good. I enjoy it.
It's good in cocktails.
Yeah, I like the rye better, actually. A Bullet rye, I think, is delightful. And I do like it better. But this isn't bad. Again, this is what got me in. And again, just talking with James a little earlier, it makes me laugh because I used to love this and be like, oh, it's so great. And now I'm like, get that trash away from me. I don't drink that anymore.
But it's not like going back to something like Dewar's White. Where like Dewar's White is where I think that was one of the first scotches that I really had as an adult to try and enjoy instead of going, okay, let's try this and it tastes like gasoline, right? But like as an adult, I'm like, okay, drinking it and I'm like, it's okay. And then, you kind of go through your finer scotches that are not Dewar's White. And they go back to Dewar's White and you're like, yeah, it tastes like gasoline.
Tastes like gasoline. Another thing that we talked to, or that in our research that we did, that they talk a little bit about with this is that in their distillation process, they were really specific about taking out the phenol, one of the other style of alcohols, that they are really specific about pulling phenol off of this bourbon. That's the first time I've ever seen that pulled out. James, have you ever heard of or seen anybody else talk about taking phenol off of their distillation?
What the hell is phenol?
No, I have not. I really, that's like the first time I've heard about that. So I don't even know where to really go with that. My assumption is that's like some type of off alcohol, like phenol.
I was like, is that the kind that makes you go blind? Is that like, don't drink the phenol because it makes you go blind?
If I look up phenol removal, the first thing that pops up is phenol removal from wastewater. Jesus.
Yeah, and it says it's also called carbolic acid or phenolic acid.
So basically, it's what gets you drunk when you're making toilet wine in jail.
Ooh, a little Pruno, huh?
It used to be used as an antiseptic in the 1900s to the 1970s.
Nice. So we're not going to be enjoying any phenol in the Bullet.
Shucks. The Bullet takes all the phenol out.
Pretty sure Dewar's has plenty of phenol left over.
Yeah, so it's like a type of alcohol that's just a bad. I mean, not like all alcohol is bad, but yeah, interesting. Okay.
All right, well let's jump into this. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah,
cheers to all of you. Cheers, Jimmy. Thanks for joining us from snowy Boston. All right, don't forget to move your bourbon from left to right, right to left. A lot of rye spice. I mean, it's spicy.
I'm getting like a citrus, like that rye, maybe like an orange peel, orange rind.
Yeah, got that rye spice. I think that citrus is a great call out.
Yeah. Get a
And
little vanilla.
some oak. There's an
Definitely, but it's like a sweet oak, right? Like a caramelized oak. Like a sweet caramelized oak vanilla with like a citrus. I'm getting like that citrus vanilla.
Lots.
Great. I think it's a solid. That's very approachable, right?
No,
Very
it's a good
plain.
nose. It's a good nose. The ethanol doesn't really blow you away.
Nope. Well, we've been talking and letting it sit here for the past 10 minutes. I mean, we poured it maybe 7 minutes. So we poured it and let it really sit.
Yeah.
You'll notice we're drinking out of the Kentucky bourbon glass rather than the typical Glencairn. So and tonight this is also another fun one. This is the Robert Burns commemorative Kentucky bourbon.
Robert Burns.
It is Robert Burns' birthday tonight.
Cheers to Robbie Burns.
So Robert Burns was a poet. For those of you that
very famous French poet
who don't know it.
I was going to say, did he know it? He's a poet and he did know it. All right.
Robert Burns.
I believe that he was a Scottish poet.
Really?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to Google. I thought he was
French.
Because
I'm pretty sure he's Scottish because he wrote a poem about the love of the haggis and.
Wow, you're right. He was a Scottish poet. You're right.
Yeah.
Love of the haggis. I haven't had haggis.
Ooh,
this is good. Definitely it's got the rice spice, little caramel toffee-ish flavor to it.
Yeah, I like toffee. I think that it's got like that kind of complex caramel flavor. Warm, sits on the palate nicely.
Yeah, good mouthfeel. A little hot.
I think it's the rye though.
Yeah,
right?
the rye does make it hot.
This is just a high rye content because again, this is only a 45%er.
Yep.
So this is just a high rye content.
I get a lot of spice. I think that spice comes through kind of like that peppery sweetness, and that citrus is still kind of there, but it's getting definitely like a sweet peppery oak.
Yeah.
Cinnamon ginger type. That's kind of those elements I'm getting.
Ginger's a great call out.
Yeah. I know that's weird though, right? I just get that.
Well, it's like eat a piece of ginger and then think about the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ginger's a perfect call out.
Yep.
But you know what? This is good. And you know why they sell Bulliet in 1.75
I was going to say, probably
because there's alcoholics in the world.
What is it, like 30 bucks?
It's cheap. That's like what I want to talk about. It's such a value. Like this is not bad. It's not
like I said, if they're having the sale, 25. You got to buy 3.
Yeah, this is great for having at a party.
Yeah,
cocktails.
Good cocktail whiskey, right?
And you got whiskey for months if you find that sale.
Like I would put this in a Manhattan, I put this in a sidecar, I put this in an old fashioned, I put this in a whiskey sour, a pisco sour. I'd put this in a whiskey ginger. I put this in whiskey and orange juice, which is a little known cocktail that I like to drink.
What is that called?
I don't know. Whiskey and OJ.
Whiskey and OJ.
But whiskey and OJ is delightful.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I might try.
I put this in whiskey and OJ.
Whiskey and
OJ. I like. What is this face you're making, Jimmy?
No, whiskey and OJ?
You've never done whiskey and OJ?
You're thinking of like a brass monkey or something, where it's like, okay, the weirdest liquor and then you put it together. So it might be something.
Whiskey and OJ.
Do you have any OJ?
I don't.
I was going to say, I'm really curious.
I'm calling bullshit. No one mixes whiskey and OJ. This is not a known drink.
OJ is delicious.
I'm going to try it sometime.
It's delicious.
Gonna have to ask Google. Chat GPT.
No.
It's called a Whiskey-O.
Oh yeah, I like that. A Whiskey-O.
Whiskey-O?
No, he just made that up. It is not called that anywhere.
It's called a Brass Bronco.
Brass Bronco.
You know, Brass Bronco.
For
the white Bronco and OJ and yes, Brass Bronco.
Yeah,
whiskey.
I mean, I guess that it's like, are you thinking of a whiskey sour? Is that what you're confusing it with?
No, I'm telling you, you take orange juice and then pour whiskey in it.
Crown
Right.
Royal, actually, it shows up on Crown Royal's website.
Recipes?
Yeah.
I used to do it with Makers. Makers and OJ, delicious. It's so good.
The more you know, I guess.
You're like,
Wow.
which mixed together today?
Whiskey and OJ's, I'm telling you, give it a try. It's very good. It's very good.
What anybody talking in the chat? I mean, we got a lot going on here, and I haven't heard.
Quiet. Chat is crickets. Nobody is saying anything. Punky says, Bullet and soda. I will be drinking it in about 10 days. Yes,
Bullet
you
and soda.
will.
Bullet and
Uncle
soda.
Punky. You, me. Oh, yeah. Oh!
And the tree.
Hello, Matt Stafford.
Hello
Matt Stafford
there.
joined. And he says anything. Anything as in what? Say anything.
Mix it with
thank
anything?
you. Yeah.
Whiskey and anything? Whiskey and milk?
Well, I said we'll say anything. He said anything.
Anything.
Anything in the chat? Yes, there it is. Matt put it in. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, so value on this, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, surprising.
If you're buying in bulk, definitely.
And I would have
Does anybody know who owns Bullet?
Diageo.
Yeah. The conglomerate.
Diageo does. That is correct.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so this is a Diageo product.
Okay.
Diageo owns a lot of stuff like Johnny Walker.
So Diageo scooped up most of these brands when they bought Seagram in 2000.
Seagram bought it originally.
Yep.
So they got this really going in 1990. Seagram's comes in, swoops up, takes them over, makes them profitable again. Diageo comes in and goes, oh, it's a profitable business. We'll buy it.
So you ready for this is a little nugget here. Although Bullet's label says distilled by the Bullet Distilling Company, the company currently sources its bourbon. Until very recently, Four Roses was the supplier, and it's not officially known who Bullet's current supplier is.
Really?
What up, Top Feed Coco in the Heezy?
Isn't that an interesting nugget?
That is interesting. So you're saying that the juice here is Four Roses juice?
Could be. They don't say.
Well, we know how this works, so I'm going to say that's interesting, and I like it. So I found, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I found an appreciation for Four Roses. I love Four Roses. I love Four Roses small batch. I don't like anything else. I haven't tried anything super, super great from them, but I think that their single barrel is trash.
I didn't like the single barrel either.
Not good. And their regular offering is okay, but their small batch is a magical whiskey.
Wouldn't the regular be small batch?
No, the regular is not small batch.
Oh, what is the regular called?
It's just regular Four Roses.
Straight up
Four Roses bourbon.
Yeah, it's just Four Roses.
It's just Four Roses, which is not great. But then when you go to small batch, which is they actually blend it to taste like something really good.
Well, and then proof it down. Yeah.
It is proof down. And we talked a couple of weeks ago having that EC18, or last week having EC18, that sometimes proofing it down brings out a better flavor profile and gives you a more characterized bourbon that is made for enjoying. And I think that EC18 is just proof of that. So I think that this is kind of proof of it, right? It's 45%. This isn't some high kick you in the face proof. They're using the rye spices and the rye here, the high rye, to give you that feeling of something that's really strong and it's got a big back end without having to proof it way up. And you're still getting a light, a solid flavor profile out of a very affordable whiskey.
If the ABV was any higher on this would be way too hot.
So they offer a barrel proof version of this. They offer a couple of different versions of Bullet. They offer a Bullet. They offer the rye. They offer a barrel proof. I've never seen those.
No, neither have I.
Have you ever seen this? If you have, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments.
I have not.
Barrel proof Bullet.
But I've never seen any of those variations. The only two Bullets I've ever seen in my life is just regular Bullet bourbon and Bullet rye. So,
they call it barrel strength.
barrel strength. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
I've seen orange label and green label. That's it.
They showed a total wine, but I don't know.
For what kind of price?
53,
That's
99.
insane.
I'll keep an eye out. I'm kind of curious because I like the regular Bullet. Maybe the barrel proof will be even better.
Perhaps.
Try it out.
Jimmy, let's get some scoring. Start us off with some scoring there in snowy Boston.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna go nose. I would say I'm gonna give it probably like a 75. I'm gonna give the taste somewhere in the 80s. I'm gonna give the value somewhere in the 90s. So I think we're falling right in the high 80s. I'm gonna give it like a 87. I think I'm gonna give it an 87. And again, I am very, very harsh critic of this. You know, it's Bullet. But after tonight, I kind of have a renewed appreciation. I thought I would give it a much lower score. So
you were expecting gasoline.
What?
You were expecting gasoline.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be terrible. Yeah.
And when we're doing these scores, we're not comparing this to anything else.
No.
Like we're going, okay, bullet for bullet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Zach, what are you thinking?
I am going to give it a 75, and for the value, I'm going to give it 100. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
and this is but when you're buying in bulk though, I mean, I wouldn't buy it like in a 750 or anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what is that? What's your total score then?
Math 82.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
82.5.
Yeah. An 82.5. Okay, that's respectable.
Beach, you're up.
All right, my turn, I guess. Okay. So I stick to the old scoring system, which is kind of what you guys just did.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So
0, 1, 2, 3. What you eating over there, James?
yeah, what you got? What are you snacking?
Little snicky snacks.
What is that?
What's your snicky snack?
Yeah, show it to us.
Little gummy bears.
Oh, gummy bear. Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. Well, Zach, I'm sorry. We normally do have snicky snacks on the show.
Oh, they are actual gummy bears. I thought they would be gummy butterflies.
Sorry.
Since you're in that special place that we all know about.
No Brazil nuts tonight, but I do have some nuts.
Oh, D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Got him.
All right, so Beach, what's your score, buddy?
Well, I like the nose. I give it like a 2 out of 3. I think that the flavor profile is a 2 out of 3. I think that this is a 3 out of 3 on value. That's going to take you up to a 7. Am I blown away by it? I am shocked, actually, about how much I liked this tonight.
So before, let me give you just a little blurb in there.
Sure.
I was expecting both of you guys to go, okay, this is trash. This is going to be like just dog shit, yuck, right? And I'm like,
No.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to like it, right? I was like, I don't think I like really crappy whiskey.
No,
I'm learned, but I'm glad that we're all kind of jiving here, with the
as Zach, as Jimmy says, we are a house of learned doctors.
We're a house of learned doctors.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would stick pretty close to what you guys said. I feel pretty compelled to drop this in around 83 out of 100.
What's with me over here with this giant score?
Hey, man, your score is your score. You're fine. It's great. Millie, get down.
Would you give it an 87.2?
I'm giving it an 86 now. It gets an 86.
You give it a 91.
86. I did not give it a 91.
I changed mine.
You really liked it.
Actually, my overall is an 85. I've decided.
There we go.
Yeah, I would give it an 83. I think that it
86. All right, 80's good.
good.
I liked it. It's approachable. It's fine. It's fine. It's a fine bourbon.
It goes in anything, even in orange juice.
Yes.
Oh, it also goes in milk too.
Ew.
Eggnog.
Yes.
Technically milk.
Yes.
Actually, the eggnog I made with Bullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Delightful.
It was muy bien.
Very, very good.
That's very good in Spanish. Step away.
Oh my god. Jimmy, This was the other thing. Why did we pick this tonight? And that's because, Jimmy, you're in Boston, and we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Shockingly, Bulliet is the #1 selling whiskey in Boston, Massachusetts.
It is.
Oh, wow.
I said Jameson. I thought it was Jameson.
Jameson is number 2.
Very
one,
Irish heavy presence, but I guess
the
not.
#1 selling is Bulliet. And then, of course, everybody asked me, what is the #1 selling whiskey in Las Vegas?
Wait, can I guess?
Sure. Guess.
In Las Vegas, #1 selling whiskey. Does that include bars and for
Everywhere?
Yes.
Everywhere overall. Oh god, it's going to be something weird.
Jack Daniels.
Buffalo Trace.
Jack.
Think Jack?
Hands down, Jack. I said Jack before he told me the answer, and it's probably not Jack. What's the answer? I thought it was Jack.
I didn't look it up.
Is it early times? #1 selling beer, whiskey.
It's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Just from
Jack
the tourists, it has to be
Daniels.
because everyone thinks, like when they think of whiskey, they automatically think Jack.
It's
Jack and Coke.
Jack Daniels.
Jack and Diet.
Brown Foreman, you are killing it out here. Unbelievable. It's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Wow, good guess.
So you got Bulliet in Boston and JD here in Vegas.
Also, if it wasn't Jameson, I would have said Tullamore Dew, Tully.
I love Tully.
Tullamore
Or, I was just thinking like what Bostonians drink. Guess it was
What is
off.
a big Boston drink?
Sidecar.
Sidecar?
Sidecar? No, I think it's a lot of Sam Adams around here.
Pickleback.
And
Pickleback.
yeah, probably Jamie and Picklebacks or
Like, hey, who wants to get really drunk and not taste the Jameson?
Me.
Pickleback. Yeah, same here.
what's in your lap over there?
Who wants to get the taste of old hooker spit out of your mouth?
Mhm.
I'll have a Sam Adams too.
And
What's in your lap? What is that, BJ?
Oh, this is my devil dog, Toby.
Dude, you can't even see his eyes.
Yeah,
great.
it's strange.
Yeah.
It's like you're just holding a ball of fur.
He's a void.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
mean,
a mop.
We talk about black cats all the time, but this is Toby.
Ah, there we go.
Toby he's a void dog, and he is a void, and then that's Millie, and they're both very intrigued as to what's going on. And
Oh
this
yeah.
is not a normal occurrence, obviously, in my house. So everyone's like,
Right.
"What's happening? What's going on?"
Well,
Ah!
they were checking it out even before you brought the nuts over.
Oh yeah, now they
like-
got nuts, and they're like, "I want a nut. What's happening? I want a nut.
Have some?
I want some.
Have some?
Give me
All right,
one."
we're way off topic here. Are we done here for tonight?
Sure. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. It was a fun show. It was different.
Yeah, very bullet.
Good to talk about Bullet. Bullets, in a nutshell, just wrap it up. It's great in cocktails. Overall, great. I think this is a good entry-level whiskey bourbon for people. Dirt cheap and get it everywhere.
Yeah, and also for people that haven't really experienced, drinking whiskey neat. It might be kind of a weird thing to start with. Where you're like, whiskey. Why would you not want to drink your whiskey not super cold, right?
Right.
This is a good starter
Yeah, I agree.
for drinking something neat.
All right, it's like 50 degrees in my room, so I got to go. I got to turn this heater on. I don't know why I'm freezing right here. I'm like,
All right, you're back next week.
back next week, definitely.
And are you in town next week?
In town next week.
All right, so all three of us in town next week, and we'll have a good show for you then. Until
Did you just
then,
let that dog bites food out of your mouth?
no.
Oh, I thought he grabbed food out of your mouth. I was like,
Absolutely
wow,
not.
what a
I think it's not baby
weird.
food.
Absolutely
Here,
not.
Toby. Here, Toby.
That was a really weird thing that I swore I just saw. Like that dog went. Whoop, and like,
Oh, was it super quick and I didn't see it? It was like
yeah, it was like. Whoop.
a little nut drop.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna watch that on playback. If that dog was like,
Do
we
it.
have
You won't find
video
You
proof.
won't see.
Right.
Video proof.
Don't delete it.
For the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
I'm Zach.
And I'm BJ. We'll see you next week.